Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is gzduel, here to give you guys my Laval Quasar deck profile for the April 1st ban list. I really like this deck because it's you get to bring out multiple Quasars, and what's not to love about that? Unless you're, my opponent, and in that case, you might just want to quit. So yeah, I'll get into deck profile for the monsters. We have 2 Laval Cannoneers because you only ever need 2. If the third one is just superfluous, why would you even want that? When you discard using the effect of Multi Conduction Field, ideally you just want to dump 2. The last one is just the extra card in your deck, and you don't ever want that. However, if it does get banished, then you're messed up, you're screwed, but not really, because you do have level 4 monsters with which you can synchro, so it wouldn't be that bad. So 2. For the other engine we also used the Dark World engine, which consists of 3 Snows and 3 Brows. To round off the Laval engine, we have 3 Handmaidens. And this is a cool card to play, the Volcanic Shell. This is a level 1, so you can use it to synchro once you bring out with Rekindling. When you use Rekindling, you revive these level monsters. You still need a level 1 non-tuner monster to synchro with in order to go into formula. Volcanic Shell satisfies that request. And also, what happens with Volcanic Shell, it has a really good effect. It activates in the graveyard, pay 500 life points. You can search for another one of these from your deck. So that's really good because you can use this after you've synchroed, and then you can use this to search for another one. So you shrink your deck by 1, making your deck more consistent. 2, you can use this in conjunction with discarding cards that allows you to draw, and then you won't minus yourself. So for example, if you use Dark World Dealings, and then you discard your Volcanic Shell, you can search for another Volcanic Shell, and you don't really minus your hand advantage. Same thing with hand destruction, and same thing even if you want to pay the cost for things like Magical Stone Excavation. You can discard Volcanic Shell and just happen to search back another one from your deck. So it's a very good card, satisfies a lot of requirements for this deck to work. For the spell cards, all of the remaining cards are spell cards. You don't play traps because you want to bring out Quasar in the first turn or the second turn, and you want to bring out multiples of those. So we have a lot of draw cards, obviously. We have Allure Darkness. We have 1 Day of Peace. 1 Day of Peace does give your opponent a plus, but it's kind of good at times when you really need that draw for yourself on your turn. +1 for your opponent really doesn't matter. Once you have Quasar, you can negate a whole bunch of stuff. And 1 Day of Peace sometimes might just save you. If you don't have the greatest opening hand, you can play 1 Day of Peace and survive yourself for the next turn. Of course, we need to play 3 Soul Charge because this is the most broken card ever. You can go into Quasar and then using Soul Charge bring back the 2 level 5s and the Formula Synchron, and then you just go into another Quasar at the cost of 3,000 life points. Yeah, it's not fair. Of course, we run 3 Upstart Goblins. Very good. The best draw card right now. 3 Molten Conduction Fields because you want to get into this card as soon as possible. After you use the first one, I know that the rest will be dead, but you have ways to get rid of these dead ones, especially with draw cards that discard, like Dark World Dealings. You can very easily use this and then discard the extra Molten Conduction Field, or if you want, you can use it as a cost to pay in order to activate Magical Stone Excavation. So even though there are dead cards, you can still get rid of them more efficiently, much more efficiently than in any other deck. Of course, we run the 3 Dark World Dealings, very good with the Dark World monsters as well as Volcanic Shell. Rekindling is at 1, so you have to play 1. That's very unfortunate because in the OCG, they still have 3, and they can get out multiple Quasars, like 3 Quasars in the first turn on 1 turn. But because you only have 1 Rekindling, you have to depend a lot on Soul Charge, which takes a hit on your life points. That's one negative downside. Another downside is you have to use Magical Stone Excavation in order to revive your Rekindling in order to make this deck more consistent. So yeah, it's kind of hard to play with 1, but still, it is a very powerful card, and it still makes the deck viable. 2 Magical Mallets, because sometimes you draw into dead cards. You draw into 3 of these Brows and 2 of these Snows, and you have nothing else to do, or you draw into all 5 of your Laval monsters, and that kind of sucks. You want to be able to put them back into the deck and then draw into a new hand with which you can work and get out Quasar. So definitely 2 of these to refresh your hand. 3 Into the Void. I know it has a pretty bad side effect. You have to lose your whole hand, but hey, you have Quasar on the field. You might have 2 Quasars on the field. Who cares if you have no hand? Next turn, you're just beat face with 4,000 attack, attacking twice, so it really doesn't matter. You need this extra +1 in order to make the deck very consistent. Plus, if you have Dark World monsters in your hand at the end phase, when you discard them, their effects will activate, so it really doesn't matter that much. It actually has great synergy with the Dark World engine. We have 3 magical stone excavation because, like I said, we don't have rekindlings, multiple rekindlings. We need to create multiple rekindlings by using magical stone excavation, and we can use magical stone excavation along with cards like the dead cards that you have used already, like motion conduction field. So really doesn't matter to get rid of those guys. Of course, we also have hand destruction to get rid of dead cards to draw. Very good with Laval Volcanic Shell. It does not trigger the effect of Dark World, so just keep that in mind when you're playing. And the last card we use is the Gates of the Dark World. I really like this card. You can search this with Snow. It completes the Dark World engine, and it's a field card. It makes your field look nice when you have Quasar on the field. And of course, for the extra deck, we have 3 Quasars because you can get out 3. We need 3 Shooting Star Dragons because once the Quasars once they die, you can bring out these Shooting Star Dragons from your extra deck. We have 1 Mistworm, we have 1 HTS, 1 Vulcan the Divine, 1 Librarian because you need to play this card to get you some pluses. You have to play this card as well, this Dual Slasher, because it has 200 defense and it's a fire monster which you can revive with rekindling. 2 Catasters, they're just level 5 synchros you use to synchro with for Quasar, and you also have Laval Dragon. Their effects are pretty good too. And lastly, we have the Formula Synchron to use as the tuner to get out Quasar. So yeah, this is the deck. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the comment section down below. I'd love to answer some of them. The consistency of this deck, I would say you can get out Quasar 2 out of the 3 times. When you go first or you go second, it really doesn't matter. The one card difference with going first can really affect you a bit, but you know, you will be able to bypass that because you have so many draw cards. But yeah, try going first. I usually go first with this card, with this deck, and you usually get out Quasar, so it really doesn't affect you that you begin with 5 cards. So yeah, if you have any questions, drop it in the comment section down below. I will answer them. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is gzduel signing out.